The President recently announced that alcohol can be sold under strict conditions during level 3 of the lockdown. During a press briefing yesterday, the Minister of Co-operative Governance reiterated the rules of the lifting of the ban on alcohol under level 3 to the nation, with sales only allowed from Monday to Thursday between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. This ban has had a dire economic consequence, with approximately 117,600 people losing their jobs, not to mention bottle stores with no income and, of course, manufacturing at a standstill. Well, joining us now is Patricia Pillay, the Chief Executive Officer of the Beer Association of South Africa. Patricia, it's wonderful to have you here on the program. Welcome to Morning Live.
Morning, Leanne.
So the liquor industry, no doubt, welcoming the announcement from government to finally lift the ban on the sale of alcohol. Do you think there is time to turn around the damage that's been done to all of these job losses?
So sadly, there have already been businesses that have been closed. There have already been jobs that have been lost. I think that, we can't undo the damage that has been done, but I think we also need to look forward. I think that we need to be able to salvage what we have and work with what we have and, look at this positively, but also to say we are trying to give support to those businesses that have closed in terms of trying to revitalize and see how we can give support to them. And, we're trying to be positive about this.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, this is a time where we sort of have to start rebuilding. I mean, this is the reality. It's rebuilding a sector that's been severely hampered by this. Can you give us an estimate of how much money the industry has actually lost to date due to the ban on the sale of alcohol?
Well, I think because the sector is as broad as it is, because if you look at, for example, the submissions that we've had to put in, and the voice that I represent today, for example, it's a consortium of traders. So we've broken up in the industry in terms of the traders as the taverners and the shebeens. We have the Consumer Goods Council that we're representing. We're representing the independent liquor retailers. We're representing the wine farmers and the wine sales, as well as the spirits in terms of silver. So it's very broad. So in each sector, we have the impact that we have measured. So the impact is broad. I mean, in terms of beer, for example, you've seen the headlines, literally we had to pour beer down the drain. Yeah. So the impact has been huge, Leanne.
Yeah, I mean, it really has. When you break it down, and as you say, I mean, the amount of sectors and different kinds of alcohol distributors that have been affected by this. I mean, let's just take a look at breweries, for instance. Just one, South Africa's largest beer maker, warning of up to 2,000 job losses. That's just at one company on the beer side of things. And this, of course, is a very, very difficult situation that they find themselves in, because it's not only the job losses, it's also the amount of beer and litres that we've all heard about, and we even saw the visuals of these litres being literally poured down the drain because they couldn't sell them. Again, trying to recoup and rebuild themselves to meet demand. How do you think that's going to also work?
So we started planning a while ago. We've worked closely with government. I'd like to say that the support that we've received is really applaudable. And in terms of really government taking the time to understand our situation, because we've always maintained that we want to be responsible. We understand that we need to take into account the safety protocols. We put together a very clear plan as to how we wanted to open. So, we're not starting to plan today. This planning has been happening in the last few weeks already. And so the safety protocols are across the industry and across those sectors that I've spoken about. And so we ensure that we have PPE in place, as I said, from the taverns all the way through to the independent, to the major retailers. We have social distancing in place, tapes to show where people need to stand. People will be self-regulating in terms of volumes to ensure that there's also drinking in moderation, to ensure that there's enough supply so that there's no panic buying. Please make sure that we don't start now panic buying in terms of liquor. I think we're just trying to ensure that there's a sense of calm about this, and that we really are responsible in terms of how we open up this industry now.
So let's talk to some of the restrictions that have been put in place as well, as much as we know that bottle stores are going to be opening, and all of this is for home consumption only. It can't be drunk on the premises of whoever sells the alcohol. So it's between 9 in the morning and 5 p.m. at night, only open from Monday to Thursday. We imagine there's going to be a major rush happening in the first few days and thereafter as well. How prepared are bottle stores to handle this, and alcohol traders set to handle this with the rush and the whole issue of social distancing as well?
So just to say, Leanne, a lot of sales have happened online in terms of bookings. So a lot of people have been proactive, and they've actually ensured that they put their sales online. So that queuing system has already started. So a lot of that pressure has been alleviated. And remember, online sales are also open, so that would be spread as well. So I think that's also going to help in terms of combating that.
Yeah, that's good to hear. But I mean, let's talk to the reality of a lot of people that are not online, and they are going to be going. We know this. I mean, it's been something that people have been calling for a very long time. So the issue of taverners not being able to open, is this putting major stress as well on the industry and people having to travel distances to get the alcohol, as opposed to trying to allow the taverners to sell alcohol but not allow them to be had on the premises? So what are your views on the taverners?
So we worked really hard with the various tavern associations. You know, once again, it's been wonderful how we've all managed to come together, including the tavern associations. And we've come up with a click and collect model. So the click and collect model allows the tavern associations, the tavern owners, to be able to take online deliveries, collections as well. Customers will place their orders as well through an app, and the tavern owners will get that ready and be able to then just get that ready for the customer to collect.
Yeah. So this is something that I imagine you're working closely with government to try and allow this trade to happen through taverners, and also you're mentioning microbreweries. What is the stance on there? I mean, can we see those starting to work and open up trade as well?
Yes. So I think everybody will be opening up trade come the 1st of June.
Okay.
So we are all ready for that, including the microbreweries. And so we're very positive that then the load will be spread, which is another positive, is that, you know, government has very carefully thought this through so that we don't allow any of this stampede in terms of just certain outlets.
Which is a great concern. One of the other things that I think is going to upset South Africans quite a bit is, you know, the craft beer has taken off quite well, and people really do enjoy it, and South Africans doing very, very well when it comes to craft beer. But I'm reading a statement that was released saying that 13% of the craft beer industry is in the process of closing down now.
Yes, it is a sad reality. I mean, we were monitoring this from the start of the imposition of the actual prohibition of sale. The craft brewers are part of the association, the beer association. And so, you know, they're a very important partner with us. And it is a sad reality. But as I said, you know, right at the beginning, we're hoping to be able to revive this. We're hoping to be able to, you know, allow them to recover in these few weeks that are coming up. And I think that, you know, in terms of e-commerce, working together, we can try and turn this around.
I just want to ask you two more questions. The first one as well is the illicit sale of alcohol and the illicit industry that obviously has done exceptionally well under the circumstances. How well is it doing? I mean, and from statistics that you have, and how sort of has it grown, and do you think that this is something that's still going to thrive even as the legal sale is now allowed, but during these restricted hours?
Well, sadly, it's raised and increased exponentially. So illicit was already a problem prior to COVID, and, you know, something that we were tracking closely. However, it just raised exponentially. So, you know, it was had overtaken, obviously, then the alcohol legal market because we were not able to trade. So we're hoping that we will see a decline. We also have set up a illicit hotline number along with the Consumer Goods Council of South Africa, which is also already in place. So we are asking, all consumers to be able to call into that number if you are aware of any illicit activity happening in terms of alcohol. And we are then going to investigate that and try and then curb that.
I just want to get one final bit of clarity again. Taverns, are they able to open? Because I'm trying to just get a bit of clarity on this. Is this allowed now? Taverns are allowed to open and sell beer, but not to be consumed on the premises.
Absolutely, Leanne. And once again, I just want to assure you that we've really been working closely together. We've got educational material that's already en route to the taverns. If you look at the regulations, as of today, we can start preparing and get readiness in terms of our facilities. So, cleaning up, ensuring we get our PPEs in place, etc. So everything's already being sent through in terms of sanitizers, face shields, ensuring our tapes are in place. We have educational material, posters, videos getting sent out in terms of safe behavior, not sharing of your bottles. So it's a whole strategy. We have a war room in place to deal with how taverners should be able to manage this process. And I must say, there's such commitment from the tavern associations. They're also doing various interviews. And so it's very important that you also hear their commitment that we are able to do this. The township economy needs to thrive. And I think this will be proof that, they are able to open and that everything is ready.
Okay, so there's the confirmation that taverns are going to open, but to buy and take home. What about shebeens and bars? Because I know that they're not allowed to open, but can they sell and then the alcohol is taken off premises? Do you know that?
The same principle will apply, Leanne. So same principle, safe conditions. When you come and collect, obviously the counters will be cleaned and safe principles of social distancing, but you can collect. You cannot sit down. Even if you're tired of waiting, you will stand and then you take your order and you leave. That's as you can do.
So bars, shebeens, taverns, takeaway only.
That's it.
All right, Patricia, thanks for talking to us. Just one final question. Sorry, I'm asking so many. We've seen that obviously they've been closed. I mean, the bars, taverns, shebeens, bottle stalls, all of these have been closed now, and a lot of alcohol has been sitting there for, months on end. What happens to that stock? Would it be fine to sell, or do they have to restock and sort of lose out on some of the alcohol that's been sitting there?
So luckily, the shelf life of alcohol is quite long, including beer. And so not a lot of that stock would have expired, but we are starting as of today to go in, check the stock, take out the expired stock and just replenish the delivery. So that's already in process. So fortunately, government, did heed our call to say we needed to prep up before we could start trading on the 1st.
Patricia, thanks so much for chatting to us. Patricia Pillay, she's the CEO of the Beer Association of South Africa, chatting to us about the much anticipated opening up of the liquor industry on Monday and just some of the logistics around that. Let's take a break.